Hello, I'm going to briefly color all the shader settings for my new lines halo. So let's get into it. So starting out, we have the strip setting. The strip setting denotes exactly how many of these strips in the swirl there are. This changes a bit between the falling and swirl modes, but we'll get into that in a second. You can see that the larger the number, the more strips there are. Swirl strength, exactly what you'd expect. It's just how strong the swirl is. You can turn it up a ton for like a really swirly look, or not at all for like more spiky look. Speed determines how fast the swirl goes. So turn it up a bunch for really fast swirl, or really small for slow swirl. Negative makes the swirl go backwards, right? So you can like do -1 for it to go inward. Swirl or falling, this has to do with what direction, or like not what direction, how the how this looks. So you can see with falling, it's like falling rain almost, and with a swirl, it's swirl. You can also see that, like, obviously with negative speed, they're going to go backward, which does look a little bit weird, but yeah. Let's get back to where we were. The color settings for this shader are a little bit odd. I've started using the OKLab color space, and it's just better overall. You get better blues, and it's less tedious to get good looking colors. It does have a bit of a learning curve though. There are 3 like main elements of the OKLab color space, at least in this format that I've set up. So there's hue, which just controls the color, right? Same idea of like 0 to 1, red to red. If you're familiar with like like hue, saturation, lightness, right? So this is that same hue. Then we have C, which stands for chroma. It's a little bit technical, I'm not going to get in the weeds too much, but a simple explanation would be like the depth of color. So you can see that as I turn this up, like, oop, that was a bit much. The color gets very deep. Gets almost like sickly pink instead of got a red, right? Sickly red instead of just red, right? And finally we have lightness, which is just literally like, it's almost like an additive, like it's like adding white in a way. Not really, but like it's the best way to describe it. Finally, I also added this S, which is just a hue shift, like automatic hue shift. You can see that it's shifting in there. If I turn it up a bunch, it'll be quick. And 1 is like pretty slow. So you get a main color control for the main color, an alternate color control for the alternate color. So you can sort of see that there are like blue and pink, or sorry, blue and purple in here, right? And then the glitch color, which we'll get to later. Currently I've set to like this red, but you could set it to like whatever color you want, like this orange, right? Glow strength is just like how strong it glows. Turn it down a bunch, make like little dots that swirl above your head, or like turn it up a ton for an ethereal halo. So yeah, that's color settings. Now into layer settings. So this halo, right, is sort of like a hologram, and how I'm doing the effect is just a bunch of layers, right? And so the layer settings let you control those layers. So you can turn down the number of layers, right, until it's off. Turn up the number of layers. You got this fixed layer gap, which is just a fixed gap between the layers. So you see like these are pretty consistent. If I turn this up, you can see a consistent gap. Layer gap randomness is a random gap between the layers. This can help like make it look a little bit more cohesive from like angles like this. But honestly, I found the fixed gap looks best in my experience. So yeah, that's it for that part. if you're worried about like looking at it from the side and seeing this, right? I do have a alternate mesh and an alternate prefab, which is on a cone. And so this alternate mesh like slightly angles down because of how this is done. You do need to increase the gap a little bit, but you can see that with this, like it's much harder to see from any given angle that it's just layers. So that's one thing that you could try. But yeah, let's get back over here, undo that, and yeah. So finally we have the glitch settings. So you'll have noticed that we've got these like glitchy sections. To turn it off, just set the glitch magnitude to 0. That's the best and easiest way. Glitch magnitude, just like how much it glitches. You'll notice if it glitches too much, like it'll glitch off the edge of the plane and then like disappear, right? So keep it relatively low, or like make the plane bigger, I guess. But that wouldn't work. Like it's just gonna do this. Make the UV and change the UV. But yeah, let's continue. Audio link bound glitching. So this is like the only audio link setting on this. It just makes it so that audio link sort of is linked to the magnitude of the glitching, right? So you'll see that as the music kicks in, the glitching magnitude increases. Sort of clear to see there. You can play with that or just turn it off if you don't want audio link to affect it at all, right? Like that's when the music's playing, and then this is just without audio link bound glitching. Okay, and then under advanced is like how, like sort of settings relating to how the glitch looks. These are in advanced because it's a little bit a touch of witchcraft, where like stuff is all bound together and like you're gonna have to play with the values until you get something you think looks good. Section size is like how big the sections are, but it's actually sort of inverted in that smaller section size is smaller sections. I guess that makes sense. Axis glitch just has to do, like currently you can see that the section moves right to left and also up and down, but if I turned off like Y, it would just move right to left, and if I turned off this one, it would like not move at all, right? Glitch time modifier, another one of those like abstract ones. It has to do with like how quickly or slowly the glitches move, right? You can see they're sort of held in place now. And if I turn it way down, they go like super fast, right? And then finally the tuning ratio. So like internally, this is like a value is multiplied by the first number and divided by the second to get, after a floor, to get a value that's important for this. So you can see if I turn this down, it gets a little bit more like big, and this is why I said like you might want to turn down the section size then, right? But yeah, so you'll have to play with that. I include a few like pre-made examples. So like this one's cool. This one uses the glitching to like make this like flare off of these. So you can actually see if I turn down the magnitude, right? Like that's the glitches. That's sort of like an odd use, right? But it's possible. Then this one's more like traditional. Just got it glitching everywhere and use like the negative colors and stuff. This is another more traditional one, just with like a faster glitch and no glitch color. This is one that uses like the linear and smaller glitch sections. This one's like, let's throw the book at it and make it as crazy as possible. Like glitch sections and using that glow strength up pretty high. This is a falling lines example. This one's my favorite personally, or actually I should say this one, but these two are my favorite. But yeah, you can pick through what makes these do the certain effects and like mix and match. to get the exact color and look that you're going for, or just like copy one of the materials, start on as base. So yeah, that is everything.